Hi, my name is Stacy Utek. I'm the resident director in Blossom Hall. This is my 8th year here, and I'm here to talk to you about something that I read that impacted me. Throughout my 20s, I would have probably classified myself as a bird, someone who I loved to be free, I loved to travel, I loved to change locations and jobs. I just liked doing different things in my life. This book is called Finding God Beyond Harvard, and it was written by Kelly Monroe Kahlberg. And it was a book that I had to read for grad school when it was 3 or 4 years ago that I was in grad school. I was doing a program in higher education from Geneva College, and so this was just a required book for our reading. And actually, I didn't really even enjoy the book that much. It was something that I was just reading to get through. It was okay to me, but literally in the last chapter, I was reading one day and I just started crying, like sobbing on my couch. And it was because she's talked about her life and how she later in life met and married someone who had kids, and she had really been she traveled a ton, she had been a lot of places, but was really starting to find the sweetness in being rooted and finding contentedness in daily living, which for me has always been a struggle. And to me, the image of a tree and being rooted somewhere had always been something I was not attracted to. I didn't want to live in a place for a long time. I didn't want to be rooted. It just sounded really unattractive to me because I wanted to be free and independent. And so when I read this part of this book, it really was the first time that I ever felt like somebody gave me a picture of rootedness that I agreed with and could get my head around. And so I will read that now. So she says, God has kindly given me the image of a garden plant in his parable of the mustard seed. It begins as a small seed. I imagine it's blown around a lot, but once it falls to the ground and takes root in good soil, it grows to become the largest of the garden plants, and the birds of the air gather in its branches. Now, as a daughter and wife and mother and friend, I'm becoming a bit less of a bird and a bit more of a tree in which the birds of the air can eat and rest and be blessed, protected, and encouraged. College students, teenagers, neighbors, grandparents, and the OSU Veritas planners. A healthy tree is wonderfully biodiverse. I'm learning by watching my husband that such trees are particularly good at drawing life from beneath the surface, from the roots up, for the fruit of love, patience, and kindness. Because for me, I love ministering to people, I love loving people, and as a bird who's constantly leaving, that's not something that can be trusted in all the time to be rooted and planted and secure. And so this idea of me becoming more like a tree was more for the birds of the air to come and feel like they can be safe with me, they can be refreshed, that I am a place where they can feel just confident that they can find security in. I always thought I would live here maybe 1 or 2 years and then leave and do something different. And this is now my 8th year living here. But now I love the friendships that I've made here, because the community, I think I'm seeing the fruits of what it means to stay in one place and be committed to people and to a church and to an institution, to a job, to a ministry, that you are more trusted. People can put their faith in you because they know, hey, she's not leaving. And so I've seen the fruits of that come about in my life, and it's been a place where I've felt refreshed by my community because I've poured into those relationships. It is impossible to do both things, and you always have to choose. So you cannot just fully be a bird, and well, you can fully be a bird, but then you lose. I always felt like when I was traveling a lot, and like there was a year where I was traveling the world. It was an amazing experience, and I learned a ton, and I grew because of cultures and people around the world. But I lost out on the depth of relationship that you can create by staying in one place. When I'm in one place, it's awesome because you can go deep and you can be consistent and you can be faithful, but then my heart longs to be overseas or to be traveling or to be adventurous. And so I've always kind of said, I can't choose both things, but actually this season of my life, I feel like I've been blessed to have bits of both. So I work at Malone, where I get the rootedness and the relationships, but then in the summers and on breaks, I'm very conscious to also fly away and do things that refresh my spirit. Obviously, huge blessing in staying too. This is my 8th year as a resident director, and I think back to all the people that have come in and out of my life, even in my time here. I've mentored a little over 50 RAs by now, and I love that. Like, I love that I've known that many women so deeply and so intimately, and to be able to be a part of their journey is something I wouldn't have traded for the world. Yeah, I think there are tons of stories I have from travel. There are tons of stories I have from, I don't know, just the beauty of being in relationships with people where they know, okay, she's not going to leave me. She will be here, she will be in my life, she will be present, and vice versa, where I feel that way about, you know, my staff, the other RDs, people who work here, my students at times, where I know, you know, they're not leaving, they're going to be here, we're in this together, we're living life together. So maybe not a specific example, but more general is